Hi, welcome to the GIMP Magazine presentation to the Libre Graphics Meeting 2013. I'm going to try and keep to the 10-minute time frame, but before I jump in, I just want to say thanks to the committee for allowing us to be a part of this. We tried to be there, but we felt that the virtual presentation would be the next best thing. So I'm going to jump right in here and start with a little bit on background on slide 2. So how did we get started? We get started by a question that I asked to a community that said basically, is there a magazine for GIMP? So I had been looking around at different magazines such as Blender Art Magazine, Libre Graphics Magazine, different publications like that, and I just asked the question on a community site that said, is there a magazine for GIMP? The response was no. The response was that we had tried this before, but a couple attempts didn't work out. And one of the responses was, why don't we try one? And that was really the community suggestion that came back. So I looked into it, I researched it a little bit, and looking at similar products, of course, and I put together a proposal back to the group of people that wanted to be on the team. I got some feedback from them, I refined the proposal, and then we worked towards implementation. Part of the proposal included magazine goals, and there's really 3 main goals here. The first goal is to promote GIMP and open source software awareness. The second goal is to attract people to GIMP by using amazing works from an amazing user community. So in other words, we want to try and use the best works that were created by GIMP in order to promote GIMP software itself. And then the third goal is really to try and educate people on how to use GIMP, how to download it, how to get familiar with the resources that are available for GIMP, which are enormous, how to use tutorials, or I should say how to provide tutorials, tips and tricks, artists, feature articles. So start talking to some of the artists who use GIMP on a regular basis. And finally, we want to wrap all of this content in a really cool and professional layout. Now, our goal also included to produce 4 issues within 1 year. And I'm happy to announce today that we are going to hit that. So one of our first deliverables for this project was a website. We needed a place to house all of the information, sort of a center point for everything that goes on. We chose a WordPress installation. We acquired a domain, and some of the features of the website are basically to support a couple of things here that I'll mention. We're able to support submissions through our website by using a form that tries to explain sort of the rules or the requirements around the submissions that people have to submit or people choose to submit. The second thing is it supports all of our direct downloads, so people can access our magazine in PDF format completely for free by downloading it directly from our website. It also has links to our issue site. It also has links to our director's cut videos. People can provide comments. People can subscribe to our magazine through our website via email. It's our social media hub. We also have a gift shop, and people can make contributions to our magazine through our website. And people can even access courses and other resources. And of course, finally, we have ads that we're able to put on our website as well. And I'm happy to announce that our website has received over 250,000 visits in about 6 months, and that's pretty cool. We're really happy with that. That's about 1,000 per day, roughly, somewhere in that sort of neighborhood. And on a magazine launch day, we actually see our website go up to about 10,000 visits on that particular day. And I think the highest day we've had so far is around 12,513, something like that, 1,000 visits, WordPress visits in that particular day. The next major deliverable that we had was actually issue 1 of our magazine. And that came out in September of 2012. Before we did that, we acquired an ISSN number from the Canadian government, which uniquely identifies our magazine from any other publication in the world. It's kind of like an ISBN, but for magazine publications. The second thing that I want to mention here is that on day 1 of issue number 1's release, we had over 10,000 downloads in the first 24 hours, and that was pretty cool. We had some phenomenal feedback. At the time of the release of issue number 1, we had about 3,500 followers, and you're going to see how this thing has grown a little bit over time. And today, on issue.com, we're logging about 110,000 plus impressions. And that's how you can access it there from that URL. When issue 2 came out, on day 1 of issue 2, we had about 20,000 downloads in the first 24 hours. So we nearly doubled what we had on issue 1. Issue 2 had a particular focus on digital arts. We also unveiled our new printed version of GIMP Magazine on magcloud.com, and you can access it at gimpmagazine.magcloud.com as shown there in the URL. What we did along the way was we refined our typography, we refined our writing style, and we refined our submission process to streamline how we actually make the magazine, and that has proven to be quite successful for us, and it saved us a lot of time. GIMP Magazine was also, in issue 2, was also featured on TV around the world in syndication. And at the release of issue 2, we had around 6,300 followers. Today, issue 2 has about 156,000 impressions, even higher than issue number 1. And we think that's pretty awesome. And then issue 3 came out in March of 2013, not too long ago. And we had an explosive 100,000 impressions in about 2 weeks. And that just completely floored me. I was not expecting that in any way. Issue 3 has a hard focus on photography as opposed to digital arts. And we kind of did that because we wanted to gauge the difference between digital arts use of GIMP versus photography use of GIMP. So we kind of catered the magazine to each. And issue 4 will be a bit of a mix of both, actually. We're going back to the normal way. We also introduced a new graphic novel, The Hunt for Wilbur, which we've been having a lot of fun with in issue 3. We refined the print version slightly, and we now have about 9,000 followers for GIMP Magazine. Today, we stand at about 400,000 total impressions of GIMP Magazine worldwide on issue.com. Issue 4 is coming soon. We've been working with a published photographer and digital artist, and this person is amazing, and I can't wait to share issue 4 with all of you, probably in June or July of 2013. Now, most of the content is wrapped up, but we still have a couple loose ends that are coming in. The layout has started. I've worked on a couple of different cover versions that I'm sort of settling on, and I'm just waiting for the final editing to complete before I start the full layout process. But definitely we'll have issue 4. Might not be June, but definitely will be July. If it is June, it'll probably be later in the month, I suspect at this point. But it's really too early for us to call. Totally looking forward to issue 4. I think it may actually be the best issue we've ever had in GIMP Magazine, and I'm really excited about it. We do have a drive to 10,000 followers, as you can see by our sticker there that we put out in issue 3. We're at 9,000 something, and we hope to be at 10,000 by issue 4. Not sure why. It's just, 10,000 is a nice round number. It's 4 issues, and it's kind of, I don't know. Not really sure why. 10,000 is a nice number though. Year 1 review. It's been 4 issues. We reached our goal of providing 4 issues in 1 year for a quarterly magazine. Some of the things looking back, we had an outstanding reception for this product. I mean, the numbers just blew us away. We were absolutely not expecting these numbers in any way. I was expecting something that would be less than a tenth of what actually happened. And I know I spoke with Dave Lepek, a member of our team, and I asked him to put some numbers together of what he thought the numbers would be. And while his numbers were higher than mine, both of us were still very low with what actually happened versus what we estimated would happen. So I have to say the reception has been outstanding, and we really appreciate that. I have to say, looking at the various issues 1 through 4, I think it is a fantastic product. I'm really happy with what has come in from the polished editing that has taken place to the enormous submissions that have come in from people from all over the world, and I think it's some really cool work that's gone on there, and I'm really proud of this product to be a part of it. So like I say, I think it's a really great product. Contributions have exceeded our goals. So the $5 contributions that we ask people to make, they've come in. They're way higher than what we expected those to be, and I'll talk more about that in the next slide. We have had little uptake for ads. Now, I'm not disappointed with that because we haven't actually put any effort towards going after ads. So we don't have anybody working on sales. We're not into any of that. We're not a business. So we're not there yet. But I do want to mention that we haven't had any uptake on ads, or if we have, it's been minimal. Print exception, or I should say print quality has been exceptional. We print this magazine through MagCloud, and I have to say that this is way over the top of what I ever had expected. And I'm really happy with it. Now, the little asterisk there on the slide denotes the fact that what I'm sad about, what I'm disappointed about, is that if you look at the total number of downloads of GIMP Magazine, and you compare that with the total number of magazine purchases that have been made, the total number of magazine purchases are so small in comparison to the total number of downloads. So, and the reason I'm sad about that is because the beauty of this magazine can only be seen in the printed version. So what you see online in the digital version is really only a fraction of what is in the hard copy print version. And GIMP is all about providing high quality, 300 dpi plus quality images that you would see in a magazine or anything like that. And you can't see that unless you actually buy the magazine. So I am a little disappointed that our magazine sales are only a fraction of the total number of downloads. Having said that, I am happy with the number of sales that have come in, but I would just like to see those as being a little bit higher so more people could experience the printed version. Overall, looking back at the whole year, I have to say it has been an incredibly rewarding experience. It's a totally creative team environment. We do have rules at GIMP Magazine, but we often break them because it's fun to break rules. And it's just been a really fun project to work on, and that's cool. So looking forward a little bit at sustainability of GIMP Magazine, now that we've reached our goal of providing 4 issues. I divided this into 3 levels here of what I would like to see kind of going forward. Level 1 we've already reached, and that is actually publishing the magazine and being able to pay for website hosting and small fees like that come up. Your contributions have easily paid for the magazine, and it would continue to host for a few years at these levels. We may bump into a wall when we maximize the total number of downloads on issue.com, but we're not there yet. We'll see what happens at that point if we have to pay for that additional sort of service. But at this point, level 1 has easily been reached. Level 2, authoring, editing, and layout work. That's a huge amount of effort that goes in. The whole workflow from submissions through final layout to actually publishing on our website, social media, all that sort of stuff. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to be able to pay our team for the efforts, for the time, and for the risk that goes in. And when I say risk, there is an element of risk when you receive submissions, making sure that there is no copyright information or copyright images in those submissions. So, that is a level of risk that we have to take on, and hopefully that doesn't we don't end up with issues with that later on down the road. We have a very strict process. We have a sort of a bulletproof kind of legal statement on there that has been vetted over and over again. But still, some people have submitted information that was copyright. They didn't read the instructions. I spotted it, and it was immediately rejected. And hopefully I can continue to do that as time goes on. And then level 3 is submissions themselves. So we'd like to be able to pay people for the submissions that they provide to us. And right now we're in no position to do level 2 or level 3 with the funding base that we've sort of established. future options going forward. So as we look to the future, there's a couple of models that we're looking at now, and we're going to better communicate this as we go. The first one is 100% voluntary, and this is as is today. This is the model we have today. And looking at this same model into the future, I'm not sure if this is going to be the model for us. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to keep the same team members from issue to issue going forward. It's almost like, think of it as an opportunity cost thing in economics, is that as you become better at producing this magazine, you get pulled away from doing the magazine and get pulled onto other projects that are paid for. So it's almost like you have to compete with other projects to keep the magazine going. So we've been looking at these items here, these three other items, ad-funded model, and we're going to communicate something in issue 4 of GIMP Magazine regarding that. And then we're looking at a crowd-funded model. So you're probably familiar with the Veronica Mars movie that was crowd-funded on Kickstarter.com. Obviously, we're not Veronica Mars. Obviously, we're not looking for $2 million, but we would look for something, a tiny little fraction of that, possibly as a model to go forward for paying for level 2 and possibly level 3. And then the last option, which I want to hold out as a very last option, would be to charge per issue. And I don't think that in today's world, I don't think that is any more a viable option, because you just immediately run into things like piracy and issues like that a small magazine just can't can't look at. But the statement at the bottom there, we would like to raise funds to maintain a sustainable, quality, timely, and free magazine. And that's the key message there at the bottom, is a free magazine. So here's a couple of ways that you can contact us. You can contact us on our website, gimpmagazine.org. Please, if you're not following us at this point, please do follow us. You can follow us on Google+, which seems to be the most popular at over 4,000. You can follow us on Twitter at over 2,000 followers. You can even follow us on issue.com. You can buy the printed magazine at magcloud.com. And if you need to contact us, it's gimpmagazine@hotmail.ca. And you can also subscribe to our website. Just look in the upper right-hand corner of that. So again, I want to say thank you to everybody at the Libre Graphics committee for allowing us to present on this. And I am Steve Chaika, the managing editor for GIMP Magazine.